Yes. Yes, yes. I'm ready. My mind. Okay. Now I am finally ready. I'm pumped. I'm here. Mind, body, spirit. I'm engaged. I'm locked in. I'm excited to hear about why Pauline Hanson. Well, it doesn't. Okay, the headline, the title of the video doesn't say that she isn't a racist. It just says they called her racist for 30 years. So, I mean, we could have been correct for 30 years, but then Bondi happened. Cool. Righto. So far, they actually haven't used any facts in this interview. It's been entirely feelings and anecdotal. A friend of a friend, a guy I know, my wife says, and my favourite, when trying to describe what are Australian characteristics, listing of categories. And so, we are a third of the way through, and I continue my journey into the mind of Pauline Hanson.
Spend time and see their children. I am so opposed to that.
I think there's a lot of people that agree with you. And I hear a lot of people, I see comments when I've ever talked about.
Just to recap, we're up to the section where they're talking about, I believe, domestic violence. And we had to look at the crime stats for Queensland because this was filmed in Brisbane, right? She's from Brisbane. So we looked up the Queensland crime stats. Fuck. You know what? This needs to not autofill anything. And it's crazy. We see this sort of like, yeah, look, crime's going up in Queensland. That's crazy. Since 2001, something's not right here. What about Brisbane? Yeah, it went down, but crazy, crime's going up. And then I have a look. Geez, it must be all those robberies and all those break-ins. So, oh, geez, robberies. Oh, look, yeah, look, there's a little bit of a resurgence for sure. Unlawful entry, well, that's down since 2001. But like, the argument that these guys were making is that, you know, oh, back when I was younger, this is that Butterfield guy. I think he said he was born in 93 or something, right? When he was younger, it was so much safer. Well, technically it's on par or worse than it is now for robbery. It's definitely less break-ins, right? Unlawful entry. But have a look at breach domestic violence protection order. Big yikes. Big yikes. What about sexual offences? Oh, whoops. Big yikes. So what about homicide? I mean, homicide's the worst of the worst, right? Huh. Kind of trending downwards, right? So, but look, I've been thinking this week. I hate these motherfuckers. But I also have to not let that hatred cloud my judgment when I'm looking at statistics and numbers. I don't want to just try and talk my way into a worldview that fits my narrative. I want to live in the world of reality, unlike the people I'm criticizing here. And I want to base my feelings. I want to base my opinions, let's call them, on the facts at hand. So let's continue to judge these people, because, my God, I'm still 20 minutes in and I'm still waiting to hear anything of substance.
About this, and people say, no, that doesn't happen. There is not a bias against men in the family court system. And then I get emails from dudes who say completely opposite, where they're like, mate,
It's happening.
It's crazy.
Had a judge who was David Collier, from a former judge in the family law courts and from Parramatta. And he was retired. He was in it for 14 years. He's well and truly retired. And he said, you know, the false allegations that were brought up, and especially sex allegations made against the fathers to deny them the right to actually see their children, it's evident.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard this not from one judge, but but other judges. And what annoys me is that we know it's happening. He's a judge. How many cases of perjury did he put across the witness who discloses? Until in our court system we...
The witness who's disclosed this in family court is probably a child. So you're going to charge a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old with perjury. Someone who can't fully understand the consequences of their actions. We need to crack down, who are probably being pressured by their other parent. You're going to charge those children with perjury. That sounds like a really shit idea of attacking victims, the children. Absolutely zero thought has gone into this, has there? I mean, I don't doubt that there are people who are nasty enough to try and lie to the courts to get some kind of favourable ruling, particularly when it comes to like a heated situation with family and kids, and it gets fucking messy and But the witnesses, that makes no sense. Like, this is children, actual children. I also I doubt it. I doubt the actual deceitfulness is as widespread as people think. Like, and let's face it, when it gets to court, it's cause it's fucking messy, right? There's something going on there that's more messy than it needs to be. Like, most of this shit gets settled out of court, like divorces and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to search this up, aren't I? Because fuck, these fuckers don't know anything and don't say any actual facts. in Australia, very few divorces go to a full court trial. Only about 3 to 5% of separating couples actually rely on a judge to determine their property settlements and parenting arrangements. The vast majority resolve their issues through mediation, negotiation, or filing consent orders. Why the fuck am I not surprised? I mean, we're talking about a very small proportion of people and then a subset of that proportion of people. So I don't know, like these people just must know people, like all of their talking points are based on anecdote and lies. So is it just that they know a lot of people that are committing domestic violence? Is that just the circle that they're breeding, that it's quite common just to actually be a fuckwit or abusive in your relationship, and then now all of a sudden it's got to go to court and fucking deliberated over by a judge? Right, is 3 to 5%. If more, like, if you know, what's that, 20 people, and more than one of them gets divorced, like, if you know 20 people that get divorced and more than one of them goes to court for it, then you're abnormal. Your circle of friends is abnormal.
Implement charges of perjury against those who tell lies in court cases, regardless of whether it's family law, right across the board with everything.
Reminder, she's talking about children here. She is talking about children because the children are the witnesses, right? And the victims. Because unless the mother's saying or the father is saying they've seen it directly, this person doing this thing in person, but obviously the victim is a form of witness too, right? So you'd be talking about fucking charging children with perjury.
Then we might start getting the truth in our legal system.
I think that once again, it's taking teams, isn't it? It's like if you dare say that some men there's a bias against some men in the family law courts, then you're on team. That's a right-wing talking point. Or if you don't say that, the women are receiving all of the domestic violence and all men are bad and all that type of stuff, then that's a left-wing talking point. And each team has to keep their talking points. I feel like the centrist opinion where...
Ooh. Oh my God. Lay epic centrist. I can't wait to hear what the centrist opinion is, because of course everyone knows I didn't leave the left left me, right? I can't wait for the epic centrist opinion, the moral high ground, if you will, the hill to die on in the normal distribution, the centrist. Let's go.
You take the best from both, keep their talking points. I feel like the centrist opinion where you take the best from both worlds, that's how I've always tried to be. But I feel like that's not you can't right now. Like you can't play on the left-hand team if you dare listen to any of these talking points, and you can't play on the the right-hand team if you do the opposite.
Because you're a fucking retard. You're thinking that, like, this is like a retard's opinion of what centrism is, which is, I'll take a little bit of ideas from the fucking extreme left, the very far left, where all men are fucking rapists and everything's out to beat women down, and there's no such thing as equality in society, and nothing can be equal in society until men get their own and women get justice for the years and years of oppression. Versus the extreme right wing of men are hard done by, the law, the legal system cracks down on men, and women should know their place, and men should do all the work, and women should listen to men and do what they're told, right? Like, it's not you're not, the centrist position is not about trying to incorporate ideas from both ends of that spectrum. It's not how that fucking works. How it works is you look at the situation, you try and understand it with facts and figures and statistics and data, questionnaires, I guess, if you're doing, some psychological stuff. And you approach it with some empathy, some compassion, and you try and weave a ground that is almost like it says, in a middling approach where you're not too extreme on one side or the other, and realistically, you're just trying to stay the course as is. And then, like, okay, what's a good example here on this, right? So the example of here of a centrist position would be, yes, men are more likely to commit domestic violence or domestic violence related crimes. There's a potential there where we need to increase punishments for certain crimes to disincentivize the behavior. But there's also some things that we need to do with cultural indoctrination, teaching, learning about emotions, learning about how to deal with stressful situations, so that we can prevent it from the start as well, right? Like, how do we build a culture of more productive and valuable human members instead of just punishing them with a stick, right? It's got to be carrot and stick. That's the centrist. I believe that's a more central position. Whereas this guy, their positions here would be, no. The men have done nothing wrong. It's all about the witnesses coming in here and lying against our perfect little boys. Because boys will be boys. And people just don't understand that, men are just different and they're special little angels and can do no wrong, and it's all these mean, evil feminists and women and telling lies about my precious little boys. Like, what the fuck kind of retarded commentary is this? But thank God we have centrist Isaac Butterfield tell us how centrism works and how he's found a centrist position.
Right now, like, you can't play on the left-hand team if you dare listen to any of these talking points, and you can't play on the right-hand team if you do the opposite. And do you feel like enough people, or too many people, perhaps, are playing teams here? Like, is there room for people to be in the middle?
I think we have to find the middle of the road, what's fair and just, right across the board for people. People have pushed their own agenda. Yes, they are. Like I said, you've got these feminists out there, these people who just hate men, that's it. And we're going to have a go at men in general. And it shouldn't be looked at that way. I have a different perspective. If you bring in the laws and legislation.
I have a galaxy brain. I think in 5 dimensions. I see fusion chips in a world that you couldn't even imagine. I've seen calamari blazing and grazing across the rings of Saturn. I'm 4 moves ahead. I'm 10 moves ahead. Now I'm 6 moves behind. I have all of the perspectives.
Shouldn't be looked at that way. I have a different perspective. If you bring in the laws and legislation that is going to make it fair and just, and you start with your family law courts, you start with domestic violence, put it in a category, you actually deal with perjury, you actually start with the child support as well, because that's the driving factor with a lot of people, to actually deny the other partner the right to have the children because of what they get in child support. So, right.
Oh my God. Deny child support. Excuse me? So, that's a fucking insane policy. Why would a woman ever want to get pregnant ever again? Like, where is the upside on ever having children with so much risk like that? Like, it would... That's insane. Like, this is like what they call it, economic slavery almost. Like, okay, just because you've had a baby with someone, now you're locked in forever because you can no longer, you're potentially having to look after that child the majority of the time, right? What if someone does a runner on you? What if you're a woman and your partner just disappears, says sorry, bye, leaves, goes to live in another state? Like, what then? Should they get child support? Should the guy get arrested and thrown in jail? Should he be executed? Like, this just is, I mean, it's classic, right? It's just, there's just no thought put into the potential broad range of circumstances, you know? Like, we're a multicultural society. And I don't mean that in terms of just people coming from different countries. Like, even different socioeconomic layers have a different culture in a country. Like, culture can be split out like light through a prism. It can be split out many, many times in many, many ways, and you can draw distinctions across an infinite number of degrees depending on how you want to look at it. But I would definitely say that lower class culture, middle class culture, and upper class culture in Australia are all incredibly different to each other. And you have to be able to think about these things and these different types of when you're legislating. What might be good for your mate that went through a divorce and happens to have a big fucking whinge to you at the pub every other Friday, it might not be good for everyone. It might be good for him, but this is like, we've got to think about everyone here. And this is where the stats, numbers, and statistics has to be our guiding force, because you have to look towards, okay, how are we getting the best about, like, the best outcome for the most number of people. Not everyone's going to get a good outcome. That's fucking life, right? Like, you cannot make a system that is perfect for everybody. It just does not work. There are bad actors out there that will try to fuck a system and break it.
Across the board, I think the whole system is not working. It's broken down, and we have to do something about it. You know, every year I go out to the lawns of Parliament in about November, December, and on that
2 days she actually goes to Parliament. What was her attendance like on voting for bills? It was like 23%. How often is she actually there? How many days is she actually there? It's insane. Okay. We need to recenter. I was going to try not to get too judgmental on how much I hate these motherfuckers, but it's creeping in. Okay, it's so hard when they say so much dumb shit, when they're so ridiculously stupid. It's really hard. It's really hard. It's really, really hard.
Those Parliament lawns, we have last year, it was 2,459 boots of men and boys have suicided.
Yes.
That's disgusting. It really is, and yet that's not spoken about.
I've had three guys within 400 or 500 meters of my house commit suicide. I didn't know them, but I went to like the functions afterwards. And the devastation that happens from that. 75% of suicides are men, if not more, maybe 80% now. And yet, men are the problem. Men are the enemy. Men are bad people.
We don't talk about it. We don't have...
They're not the enemy. Men are not bad. But they failed to understand what's required to adapt to a world where women have choice. Potentially. Or maybe they're getting bullied the fuck out of by other men. That's a possibility too. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. Like, where is this? I'm also like, I feel like these guys are shadow boxing. I'm like, where is this huge men are bad narrative? I still feel like it's ridiculously weighed in men's favor in so many ways. Right? I just, where is this men are the devil, men are, inherently evil. Granted, I am not on TikTok or things like that. I can imagine there's some corners of the internet where that's quite, there's groups that do that shit, but in the media, like where on fucking the news websites, on anything, like where is this fictitious enemy of the people constantly and forever dragging men through the mud? Like, I just don't see it. I see a lot of men getting dragged through the mud for good fucking reason, because they've done some bad shit. But where is this castigation of men as a whole group? I certainly see it happening. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. Like, this feels like an absolute imaginary boogeyman, right? Or boogeyman.
A minister for men, we don't look, speak about men's health, men's, how they're treated, and, keep pushing.
In a weird way, she's kind of stumbled onto a good idea. Like, but I think we would deviate greatly in terms of what we would want them to talk about or focus on. In my mind, it would be a focus on how do we reintegrate men into a caring, compassionate, and cooperative environment so that they can express themselves more effectively and feel like they're being heard and work and feel like they're actually able to work towards things that they want, or at least contribute meaningfully to a society and a relationship. But something tells me that she has a very different view of what this minister would be, what their goal would be.
Women all the time, the same pay, same job, same pay. We have it.
Of course.
It's
illegal not to do that.
Correct. And you think that these women are underpaid. They're not underpaid. And what they're saying is, a woman isn't at work all the time. She has to have the children and all the rest of it. Well, listen, love, you have the equipment. That's what you're here for. You made the choice to have the child, so that's the way it goes.
That's so fucking funny. Like, these are the people that are worried about the great replacement, by the way. You're here, love. You have the equipment. Thank you for being a birthing receptacle. That's about all you're good for, isn't it, love? These are the people worried about the great replacement. What incentive is there for women to want to have babies if this is how they're treated? As a fucking hibernation tank for a fucking baby, right? Like, this is... is this misogyny? I don't know. This feels like they're trying to. It certainly feels like it's at the very least skirting the line here, right? Like it's. I don't even know what the full-on definition of misogyny is, where it starts and where it begins, but my spidey sense is tingling. I feel like we're stepping into actual disgusting fucking territory. This is actually insane, hey? I think, I just don't know. This is just insane. Let's keep twisting the knife.
You
Exactly,
made the choice to have the child, you know, so that's the way it goes. That's
If
the
you
way it
don't want to
works.
interrupt your career, don't have a baby.
Correct. So why? But to put out this perception that women don't get the same pay as men, they do. If you're an airline pilot and you're male and female, get paid the same. If you're a steward.
So yeah, there's always a lot of studies on this shit, right? And then I think basically what it boils down to is men work jobs where the pay grade is higher or the remuneration is higher. Women tend to work jobs where the remuneration is lower. That's the main pay gap at the moment, right? That's where a lot of the gender pay gap is coming from. It sucks, but this is, unless you want to forcibly weight via government intervention how much different jobs and roles and things like that get paid, it's the market forces, baby. That's how it goes.
You get the same. If you work at barista, you get paid the same. If you want to go and dig a trench, you get paid the same.
Yes, absolutely. And that's just a talking point though, to say, well, the pay gap exists and this exists and this is the same thing. It's all religious, right? It's the same thing with the vaccines.
It's all lies.
That type.
It's lies because people don't know any differently.
So the gender pay gap is the same as the vaccines. It's all lies. Apparently vaccines are fake now. It's just a lie. Like a gender pay gap. It's just like a gender pay gap. It's a vaccine. I'm getting that gender gap vaccine. It's all lies.
It's all lies. It's lies because people don't know any differently. And so they push this agenda. Poor women. Women have actually risen, come up through the ranks and everything like that. And I was speaking to these girls one time. They have the regional get-together of these girls from around the country. And they live in rural and regional areas. And I said, congratulations, that's great that you're doing this. Do you have a program like this for the boys? Oh, no, just for the girls. And I said, well, I think it's wonderful that you do this. But you know what? You keep pushing women all the time. You need them in corporate sectors. We need to have them in Parliament. And, we've got to have a quota system, all the rest of it. Well, what do I tell my...
I may say something here. One of my observations, having worked around and lived around and gone to school with a few women now, I guarantee that this thing that she's talking about out in the country, rural and regional Australia, this women's thing or girls thing that she's talking about, I'm willing to guess it was started by a bunch of women and it's managed by a bunch of women. And then when she goes out there, why isn't there a thing here for boys? I'm gonna guess nothing was fucking stopping the men from starting something like that. But I'm gonna guess that the men just couldn't get their shit together, or they just didn't give enough of a fuck to organize something. And so now, what is it? It's supposed to be up to the women now have to not only organise something for the girls but for the boys too. And so the job now rests on women's shoulders again. I guarantee that's what it is, man. Like, it's always been that. That's in my life, in every aspect of everywhere I've ever been. It's always been who's organising the social events, who's organising the push towards networking events or career growth events or blah 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 blah. Who's doing this stuff? And it's always been women and girls. Like, this is crazy. Of course it is. Nothing's stopping the men in these rural areas from starting something like this for the boys. Why is she, like, what's her fucking problem? Like, she needs to go to the root of the problem, which is men need to pull their fucking figure out. And figure out what's going on with the boys and not just let them get away with whatever the fuck they want. It's a boys will be boys situation. It doesn't work that way.
Son said, don't bother going to university, don't study, because you know what? You're not the right sex to get a job. So what do we tell the boys out there?
Fuckers, these guys were just saying don't go to university at the very start of this interview. Like, they don't want people to go to university. Fucking let the girls go to. You're saying you're going to earn more money not going to university, then fuck, who cares? Let the girls go to university then, right? Right? Didn't you guys literally just say there's no point going to university? It's all full of woke FAGs. It's all full of wokies. They're going to brainwash you, turn you against your parents. Like, these people are insane, man. Actually insane.
And then on top of it, this gender quota, I will not have it in my party. You won't get to be a candidate based on what sex you are.
But why would you want
if you're female.
that? Why would you want that as a
woman? Political parties do.
Exactly.
And then what happens is that when they're government or in shadow, they have to give so many to shadow ministries or minister to a female. And guess what? If they're absolutely hopeless, you've got someone in that position that is minister of this portfolio who wouldn't have a clue what the hell they're doing. And, you know, people...
The projection is fucking wild. The projection is insane. Actually insane.
Making, you know, they're going to have such an impact on this country in legislation that they're introducing when they wouldn't have a clue and they're not the best person for the job.
But why, as a woman, why would you want that? Why would you want to be given the upper hand just because of your sex? Like, it's...
Excuse me? Why would I want to see someone who looks like me and represents me have power in the country, the power to direct legislative outcomes or direct governmental departments? This is coming from the retard that said, you know what? When I get on an aeroplane to come back to Australia, the people I like, it makes me comfortable when the people look and sound like me. Everything can be broken down into layers. You think it's not the same for women? You don't think a woman's going to trust another woman more than men? Because they look the same, they sound the same, they probably have similar thoughts and desires and needs and wants. What a fucking retarded thing to say after literally just making an argument that you're at the start of this where he's talking about how actually just saying without saying that he's xenophobic, and then saying, why would a woman want to see women in power just because it's a woman? Motherfucker, you just want to see white people because you're white. Are you that fucking dumb that you can't see the same thing happening here?
Seems like such a backhander.
Yes.
You know, like, it seems so rude.
You have no idea how many
why it seems rude. This person has no idea of what politics is. This person has actually no idea about about relationships and how relationships form the basis of your ability to move in a career, or influence power, or get the outcomes that you desire, even if they're not technically the best person for the job. Or how do you know? Like, they might not be the best woman. Like, there might be other better qualified women out there for the job if you're just purely looking for a woman. But you know what? They're probably going to be more aligned with what a woman wants as an outcome than men. Even if a man's doing a good job, he's probably still thinking in terms of, he might not be considering all of the aspects of what women are looking for. Like, diversity is good. Women are more than 50% of the population. Why shouldn't they want some kind of representation for them in a government? This is a child's view of the world. This is like an ego-centric view of the world where it's about me, not understanding that, well, actually, my success in the world is about my ability to relate to people. And if I can relate to this person more quickly, then they're potentially going to like me more, they're going to do more favors for me, they're going to work the system for me. That's how power and influence works, man. Like, this is... I don't know. Is it intentionally retarded? I don't think this guy's intentionally retarded. I don't think he's clever enough to be like this misleading or unable to see the game. Like, I don't think he's playing any games here. I think he's properly not understanding.
Many times I've been asked, do I feel that I've been treated totally different because I'm a female?
Right.
I said, no.
No.
It's because my politics of who I am.
Yeah.
Don't play that card with me. I'm not interested in playing that card. Never have played that card. Idea how many times...
Like, it seems so rude.
You have no idea how many times I've been asked, do I feel that I've been treated totally different because I'm a female?
Right.
I said, no.
No.
It's because my politics of who I am.
Yeah.
Don't play that card with me. I'm not interested in playing that card. Never have played that card.
She just said we should treat women differently because they're part of a quota. Oh, God. Okay.
Don't play that card with me. I'm not interested in playing that card. Never have played that card. All right? Politics is a tough game. If it gets too hot for you, get out of the kitchen. That's my attitude, whether you're male or female.
I see a lot of the people who you come up against. Patman, that's Payman. I see even people like Marine Faruqi. They seem to,
and
once
Lydia
things,
Thorpe.
they get hot under the collar, and they just start blaming things that no one's brought up, no one's talking about, and that's their argument. It's a
Marine Faruqi. I feel like she said some wild fucking shit too. I see, yeah. So she's a staunch Palestine supporter. In a weird way, it sounds very much like Pauline Hanson speaking the truth is becoming a crime. Two ends of the same horseshoe almost. Yeah. I don't know if we're ready to go down the Greens arc yet. I feel like at this stage they're less threat than One Nation. I feel like I'm all for a lot of left policies, leftist progressive policies. But some of this Greens shit is probably a little too far for me. And I don't feel like it's grounded out in reality when it comes to the economics of what they want to do. But I don't actually fucking know yet. This is all my feels and I'm vibing pretty hard, to be honest. But I can see why, obviously. Yeah, Pauline Hanson and Maureen Faruqi would be butting heads. They are ideologically opposed, even though they would probably be very much both in favour of updating the free speech laws. Or, introducing wildly broad free speech laws like they have in America, right? So we can say some wild shit.
A very weak
They're
defensive set.
very childish, immature, pathetic in their debate and how to deal with me. So just throw the word out there: racist. The three of them. It's pathetic. It really is. And they're supposed to be members of Parliament representing.
Not like us here. We actually do a thorough breakdown of watching your interview, trying to tease out anything of substance you're saying, and trying to refute it with some kind of 2-second Google search that we can try and demonstrate that you're fucking retarded. But it's so hard, man. There's nothing. She talks in these empty, emotionally charged ways, or, big grandstanding about how, oh, men are so hard done by. An anecdote. I knew a judge who's retired now a long time. Fuck, who knows if the legal system. Anyway, that was ages ago. Let's keep going.
Debate and how to deal with me. So just throw the word out there: racist. The three of them. It's pathetic. It really is. And they're supposed to be members of Parliament representing the public out there. I've got no time for any one of them actually to take.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, they were totally vindicated in the last week or two, was it? Where she's gone on the press club or whatever the fuck it is and said she wants to turn Australia into a monoculture. I mean, desire for a monoculture is inherently racist, I feel. Like, isn't that kind of like the definition of racism? That you feel like your culture is superior? Oh, well, okay, now we're getting into the weeds a bit, but if I had to go out on a limb, I'm guessing these two wouldn't know what a race realist is, potentially. Maybe Isaac would, because he seems to be all bought in on the culture wars and he's done time in America, so he might know what a race realist is. And it's kind of neo-Nazi adjacent. I mean, the neo-Nazis are all bought in on it, but essentially I think it basically says that there is a particular part of your genetics which makes you more exhibit certain cultural traits. So the cultural traits that you exhibit aren't just a matter of where or how you grew up, but it's part of your genetics too. And it's a Judeo, and so in the West, as we're white and Christian, Judeo, whatever the fuck, there's some kind of white culture. And I would guess that they would probably, if they were being honest with us and to themselves, they would probably admit that, yes, being white people have a particular white culture, and that when they talk about monoculture, that's the one that they like, because I get on the plane and they sound like me, and it makes me feel comfortable. Like, the fuck are we supposed to think when you say dumb shit like that?
The truth.
What do you think a normal person, their opinion is of you and your party? Do you think
Retard. Retard. Actual fucking retard. We hate you. You're a poison. You're a cancer on our society. All you do is take, and you take bribes from Gina Reinhardt and the wealthiest people in Australia, and you have no intention of governing. You have no intention of fixing things or making better. You don't want to think. You just want to be able to say whatever the hell comes into your mind without thinking. Make decisions on gut feels. And ultimately, let Gina Reinhardt fill in your fucking Senate ballot form for you, so she'll tell you how she wants you to vote. Cash the checks, fly the private jets. Like, that's what we think about you. That you're actual waste of space, and you're a waste of oxygen in any conversation. We can't wait to get rid of you and push you into the sidelines of obscurity. Please. Like, and Angus Taylor is taking the fucking bait too, and we're losing our only possible chance at a half decent opposition party. You are a cancer. You should not be in politics. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no desire to help people because you don't understand people. You have such a narrow-sighted view of the world. This is fun. Quite like this. Getting upset watching these interviews. But it takes so long. Every single time they open their mouth, they just say something that I fucking hate. It's so shit. But we will continue. Maybe. I see I might need a break from this for a little while. I can feel my mind melting, and my intelligence shrinking. So, with that, good night and goodbye.